Okay, hello everybody, welcome to this new video. This video is gonna be about my streaming setup. So, let's just go into it. Hello, here we are. So, we're gonna start from the beginning. So, I think we can start from where you're looking me through, from this camera here. So, I'm gonna show you this a little bit better. This camera is an Sony A5000. The A5000 is we could say it's more or less an old camera. It's not really old, but it's not one of the newest ones. It has a little problem when it comes to streaming because it doesn't have a clear HDMI output. This means that there's gonna be a bar under it that is always gonna be there. So what I do to avoid this problem is that I put a little banner that a friend of mine created for me, and I always keep that with me. So whenever I have to use the stream output, the HDMI output, I always have it clean, and you will never notice, obviously. Instead, whenever I have to record a video, I don't need to do this because obviously I'm recording directly from the camera, so it will obviously already get all the writings and all the things away itself. After the camera, we could go to the microphone, I guess. The microphone is a blue Yeti Nano. What I have here mounted also is a pop filter for my voice whenever I speak, and this one here is because usually in summer here where I live it's really hot, so I usually use a fan on my left, and if I don't keep this on you will hear all the noise of the fan because it's wind coming over it, so I use that to avoid the wind to get on. The keyboard that I use, I really love my keyboard with all my heart. My keyboard is being selected after a really hard search. I've researched it for a really long time, and it's a mechanical keyboard. Obviously, it has blue switches. I've made a video out of it, but unfortunately, it's in Italian. But if you want to see it, I'll leave you the link down below. The other keyboard that I actually used, I don't know if it's called Turtle or something like that. Anyway, it's from Red Dragon. It's the K585, if I remember properly, and it's a one-handed keyboard. I use this one because whenever I game, I'd rather have more space for the whole hand than using a little keyboard that I can't even fit my fingers on. I don't have huge hands, but I'd rather be comfortable. I already have it, so why shouldn't I use it? As lights for my lighting, I only have two different lights that I use for my streaming setup as ring lights. One is on at the moment, one is off, but I can switch it on for you. I like it off just to have this kind of shade on my face, but sometimes I use it. I also switch them and everything like that. For the light that I have behind me, it's just a little light that you could use for the outside, for your garden or something like that. I didn't pay for it much, but if you want to know the name, I'm gonna search it, and maybe I can also leave it in the comments if you need it. Just ask for it. Computers, the best part. Okay, so I have two PC setup. This is the number 2. This is the number 1. This one is all used components, obviously. It has an i3 8100, 16 gigs of RAM that I already had here at home, 1050, 2 gigs 1050, and that's it, more or less. Nothing else. Doesn't have, oh, obviously, it's got the Elgato in so that I can make the true PC setup. And if you want to know more about that, just leave a comment down below. I was thinking about making a video on how to use dual PC setup, but if you guys want to know, I'll show you. There's no problem. The main PC here, this big boy here, is my main PC. It has Ryzen 5 2600. It has RTX 2060. 60 gigs of RAM, 60, well, that would be too much. 16 gigs of RAM at 3600 megahertz, and lots of storage everywhere. Storage. I need more storage, but storage everywhere. Apart from that, obviously you see all the LEDs. I've made that, so if you see this little error here, that's my fault because I made it by hand, all that stuff. Apart from that, it has a huge cooler that I love. It's the Schythe Fuma. I don't know how you say it in English, but I guess it's gonna be the same. It's huge, it's ginormous, and I love it with all my heart. What else do I use? I use my mouse. I have a G500 502? Is it called 502? I can't remember. I have it so much time. Yeah, G502. And last, I have this. This here is my controller that I use only for a few games, but you know, it was there, so why don't you use it? Monitors, I have 3 monitors. Monitor number 1, the main one, is a HP 25X 144 Hz 1080p. The other 2 are always HP, but they are 24W, that's the name, and they're both 60 Hz, obviously 1080p. This monitor here, the one of my right, the third one, is not connected to my first computer, but to the second one, so that I can see whatever happens, because I use the second one for OBS and all the recording part. As a headset, I'm using right now Asus ROG Delta Core, the one without the LEDs, but as an audio setup, it's wonderful. I really love it. This one here, this was made by a friend. This is actually a salt, I don't know how you call it. Is it a salt lamp? Something like that. Anyway, this is an RGB salt lamp that a friend made for me. And the best thing that I have here is this little thing here. This thing here has been handmade from my cousins, my little cousins, for me. So I keep this every single time I stream or I do anything here. It's here with me. And that's it. That's a tour of my streaming setup. What I actually use, there are other things that I use. But it depends then on the streaming, on what I'm doing. Because sometimes I use this, we could say. This is my action cam. It's 4K 1080, 4K 60 FPS action cam. But I think it's more or less 1080p 120 FPS. That's what I use actually. For the recordings that you've seen until now, of all the parts and all the little things, I didn't use my camera because I need my camera to stay there because it's in a right position, and the lens that my camera has is not doesn't have the automatic focus. It's manual, so I put it there and not gonna move it. What I used is actually my phone, nothing else. 1080p 60 FPS recording, so I use that because why shouldn't I? It's there. It's free to use. I mean, it's not free, but you already bought it, you know? And that's it. That is everything I have here. Obviously, there are all the cables, all the dummy for the camera, because obviously couldn't be the battery couldn't last that long. So I have a dummy for the camera. I have all the cables. I'm trying to make the cable management to get better, because obviously sometimes you have a cable that goes somewhere, another goes another part, but it's kind of hard to have everything together. The stuff that I have has been bought in the last 2, maybe 3 years. So I didn't buy everything all together. I went for steps. I went every single time with a little step. Also, what I want to say is that I tried to get my best video and audio quality. Then I also started getting the fancy lights and everything. That's obvious because I like them, but that's not the case of everybody. That is only a personal thing, your personal branding or whatever you want. But the most important part that I think is that you should focus on your video and your audio. Obviously, it's not gonna be that you buy everything all together. Well, if you can afford it, just go for it, obviously. But if you cannot afford it, just get one little thing at a time. And at the end, you will have everything. Because as you can see, I bought this stand for the microphone in a different time when I bought the microphone. Then I bought the pop filter in a different time. Then I bought the air filter, or how this is called in English, I don't know, in another different time. So every single things, I went by steps, because it would be a huge amount of money altogether. But I did all of this, and obviously every day I'm trying, whenever I can, to improve my equipment, to improve my streaming gear, so that everybody can have a better time in my stream, and I can have a better quality for my stream. Because for me, obviously the content is the most important part, but after the content, it will be how the content is brought to you. Because I could be super good, but if you can't even see my face, would you watch it? I don't know. This is my thought, obviously. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, just leave a like down below, subscribe if you want. And if you have any questions or if you want to come and chat, you will find me on trovo.live. I will leave you my link down below. You will find me there on the month of September every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is my schedule on September. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have anything to say, just leave a comment down below, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Ciao.